Hey guys, this is Violet, and right now I'm going to show you how to get into Imperial City for the first time and where to find the starter quests. For this video, I'm going to assume that you've already been into Cyrodiil and completed those starter missions, but if you haven't, you can check out the video that I created for that, or you can join me on a Cyrodiil tour if you're a member of Alith. In order to enter Imperial City, you have to have the DLC. If you're a monthly subscriber to ESO, you have free access to it while you're subscribed. And if you're not a subscriber, you can purchase it in the Crown store here for 2,500 crowns. So Imperial City has both PvP and PvE offerings. It's got a new currency system. It has 2 brand new dungeons, the White Gold Tower and the Imperial Prison. It's a pretty big place. It's got districts and it's got sewers to explore. And within those areas, you can collect Telvar stones to buy new gear. You can gather trophies to open special vaults that are spread out all over the districts. You can fight new bosses and get new achievements, close portals for loot. You can catch 12 new trophy fish, and you can gather, I think it's about a dozen sky shards. There's a ton to do in both of these areas, and I'm sure that you can find a lot of information out there about what Imperial City is all about. For this video, I'm just going to focus on how to actually get in and how to get around. So as you can see, I'm leveling an alt, and she recently reached level 10, and I'm ready to take her into Imperial City. I've already started the Cyrodiil quests. So right now I'm leveling an alt, and she's recently reached level 10, and I'm ready to take her into Imperial City. Anyone level 10 or above can go into Imperial City. So in order to go into Imperial City, I need to press L to get to the Alliance War menu, and then from there I can pick a campaign. In late September, Zos introduced a gated campaign called the Axe of Belharza. And this campaign is really great for me right now because Ebonheart Pack is basically dominating it and has control over Imperial City. You can see right here that our population is really high. The other campaigns that you see here are not gated, which means that no single faction can prevent other factions from getting in. This is really important to understand because anytime that you go into Imperial City or the Imperial City sewers, you are going to encounter enemy players unless you're playing in a gated campaign and you have control over that campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and set this and enter my campaign. And now that I've just entered Cyrodiil, you'll see by my health, magicka, and stamina that I am being battle leveled, which means that I stand a better chance against enemies of higher level. So now I'm going to go talk to the captain. Now you'll find the captain at both the south and the north gate, depending on where you actually end up when you port in.
Hold a moment, soldier. The Pact needs you. Our conquest of the Imperial City is underway, soldier. Are you prepared to do your part? That's the spirit. Our sappers have established a forward base in the city's sewers. The position is defensible, but they need more troops. The Daedra are dug in like horvers, and the Covenant and Dominion are making steady gains. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Report to General Neshtan when you arrive. She can give you a more thorough briefing. With your help, the city will be ours soon. 3 protect you.
Okay, so I have the starter quest. Now you can see that there are 3 doors to Imperial City gathered all around the lake. You can't port directly into the city. You must actually travel to a home keep and then ride down to one of these doors. If you're in a non-gated campaign, all 3 of these doors are accessible by all factions. So let's say that Chalman was not one of my home keeps at the time. It was under another faction. I could travel down to Blue Road, or I could travel down to Castle Lesia, and I could ride over to this particular door to get into Imperial City. But since my map looks pretty nice, I am going to travel down to Chalman and then ride down to the store. As you can imagine, as you're riding down from the keep to the door, you need to be careful of enemy players. And you especially need to be careful of enemy players close to the door. There's been a lot of ganking lately. Okay, I'm sneaking my way down to the door. And this is the entrance. Okay, now I'm in. This is the Ebonheart Pact home base. If you found yourself here with a group, or you've just stumbled in and you didn't pick up the quest in Cyrodiil in one of the gates, then you can just pick it up here too. Now I'm going to turn in my quest with the general.
Another recruit? We are glad to have you, friend. But I warn you, the city makes Cyrodiil seem like a midday wallow in a salt meadow swamp. There are things here that would rattle his roots. Steel yourself. I'm glad to hear it. Our gains have been modest. A warrior of your skill and experience is most welcome. The 3 banners are vying for control, but in truth, the city belongs to the Daedra and their mortal lackeys. It is vexing. I would prefer to focus on our rivals in the Covenant and the Dominion, but there are many fish in Blood River. Where to start? We cannot cast a stone without hitting one of our enemies. The Daedra have corrupted every root and brick in the city proper. If we ever hope to claim the city, they will have to be dealt with. The sewers are just as bad. Worse. When you find yourself in the middle of a lake, does it matter which shore you swim to? Enemies are everywhere. One dead Daedra will do just as well as another. Go and wreak havoc. Once we have thinned their ranks, then we will march on the tower. One more thing. There is a woman here in the city. A Dragon Guard warrior calling herself the Drake of Blades. She has brought us valuable intelligence, but her motives are too murky for my liking. If you meet her, be watchful.
Meet me among the tradesmen. Quickly, if you please.
And now we'll go talk to the Drake of Blades.
Your general was telling you to keep an eye out for me, right? Here I am. Right, I'm sorry. Introductions should come first. I apologize. I am the Drake of Blades. Blades, yes. I'm a member of the Dragon Guard, or I should say the true Dragon Guard. We were driven underground by the Empress Regent Clivia. Just as well. We are sworn to serve the true heir of the dragon. She is certainly not that. I'm conducting an investigation. The only investigation that matters. Your friends have provided a great distraction with all their fighting and dying, but I've hit a wall and I need help. I wouldn't ask if it weren't important, believe me. Because you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot, are you? Sorry. I'm looking into a plot. The plot. Molag Bal is looking for something. Something powerful. I fear that if we don't find out what it is, we'll all pay dearly. Truthfully? No, not yet. But we can change that. I need an extra set of eyes and ears. You look strong, reasonably capable, assertive, so on and so on. If we pool our assets, we should be able to foil Molag Bal's plans. In the district, there are 6 in all. Molag Bal has tried to cover his tracks by scattering his operation, hiding it in plain sight. But he's prideful and sloppy. He's left clues. We just need to find them and piece the puzzle together. Simple. Your clumsy militiamen have staked out routes through the drainage system. They rolled out ladders to mark the entrances. The hub is just over there. Can't miss it. It's filthy but surprisingly efficient. So what do you say? Will you help me? I can understand if you're dubious, skeptical. I would be. All I ask is that you go to the districts and stay watchful. I'll do the same. Small beginnings and such. Simple. If you're half as capable as I think you are, we'll be meeting again soon. So, you're making a stupid face. I'm assuming you have questions? Sorry, it's not a stupid face, it's just... Never mind. I have difficulties. It's a simple misdirection. All members of the Dragon Guard have assumed pseudonyms. There's a Drake of Shields, a Drake of Staves, and so on. It gives us the freedom to act in both plainclothes and uniform. That's a question for the leadership. I like to think it reflects on my keen intellect, but I have no idea. It was probably random. Then again, the Drake of Crowns is a clumsy, short-sighted ass, so maybe there's something to it. Royalty. Of course I am. Am I... I'm being awkward, aren't I? I apologize. I'm not very good. With people, I mean. I usually just avoid talking to people entirely. This is the longest conversation I've had in months. Something like that, I guess. I'm perceptive. Gifted, they say. I can tell when someone's lying, or anxious, or plotting something just by looking at them. But it's too much sometimes, especially when they start talking to me. Yes and no. For better or worse, it made me who I am. I couldn't really talk to people, so I had to learn about them through observation. It honed my senses, made me focus on the little things, details. That's a valuable skill in my profession. You have assets that I don't. Influence, connections, charisma. You're an accomplished warrior. You obviously have no love for the Daedra. We have common enemies, common goals. It's simple. Are you joking? Oh, you're not. No, I'm not interested in petty border disputes. You're still being serious, aren't you? No, I don't care who claims the city. The occupation could last for 20 days or 20 centuries. Doesn't matter. When Akatosh's heir arrives, the old order, all of it, will be swept away. We all are. But that's barely relevant at this point. Let's focus on the Daedra, all right?
Okay. So now we will go find how to get to the districts. So this is the scouting board, and we'll go ahead and pick up a scouting mission. Each district has a scouting mission, and so you'll need to come back to that scouting board each time to fulfill the mission. As you can see by the population in here, this is where you go to get up to the districts. Each district has a ladder that you climb, and they're spread out across these platforms here. Since our scouting mission is for the Elven Gardens district, that's where we'll go first. Okay, so a couple of things to note. This is the entrance back down to the hub. This will take you back down the ladder. As you can see, my character has this nice blue aura around her. This is to signify that you are safe. This top area that you're standing in, enemies can reach you from up here with certain skills. So it's important to remember in any of the districts that if you have this blue aura around you, you are safe. If you don't have it, not so much. So here's the banner, and this is what our scouting mission has told us that we need to do, is just plant this banner. And that's it. That's how a scouting mission is completed. If you come over here to the Drake, you'll see that she has another quest for you. This will start the main quest line for this specific district. Every district has its own quest line, and it's quite involved. It gives a lot of XP, and you get a heavy stack of Telvar stones after you've completed it. After you've completed every quest in every district, you will have a final quest to complete, and you'll be rewarded with more XP and more Telvar stones. Once all of those quests are finished, and you've finished the entire main quest line, each district offers a repeatable daily quest. So now let's take a look at the home hub and get more familiar with what you find down. Okay, here we are back down in the hub, and we'll take a look at the map. Imperial City has a little bit of a different map than the rest of the ESO game. So you can see that this is our hub area, and currently this is where you can go up into the districts through the ladders, and there's a bank here. There's merchants in this section, and there's a crafting area as well. So I really recommend exploring everything within the safe hub, because there are a lot of backpacks and things to loot for new level 15 recipes and level 15 alchemy water that you can only find in Imperial City. Now let's take a quick look at the sewers. This is the door that leads to the sewers. So let's take a quick look at the map. As you can see, there are 3 main areas. This is the Ebonheart Pact hub, and then you can see that the other factions have their own hubs as well, with many, many tunnels all leading towards the center. I won't spoil what's in the center, but I can say you really want to get there. Every area within the sewers can be traveled by any player, which means that if I step down this little path, there could be enemy players at the bottom. There are ladders that take you up into the districts that are spread across the map, and there are sewer entrances within the districts that take you back down into the sewers as well. As you can see, White Gold Tower is also right outside the hub for each faction, so you can enter that through there, or you can enter it through the map just by clicking on it. Now we'll go back into the hub and show you one last thing. How to leave Imperial City. There are 2 ways to leave Imperial City. One of them is when you finish one of the new dungeons, you will be taken back to Deshawn. You don't have a choice. You finish the dungeon, you complete the quest, and you are ported back to Deshawn. If you're inside Imperial City and you're in the home base, then all you need to do is come to this door, and then this ports you back to one of your home gates. And that's how you get into and around Imperial City for the first time. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has been helpful as you explore the districts and the sewers.